Meanwhile, indoctrination in the classroom is getting so bad that some educators are just jumping ship. A professor at Portland State University announced his resignation this week, blasting the school as a social justice factory. Peter Boghossian, who taught philosophy at the university for a decade, he says it just got too woke for him and it forced him to call it quits. Part of his resignation letter reads, quote, "Students at Portland State are not being taught to think. Rather, they're being trained to mimic the moral certainty of ideologues." Joining me now to react, Seattle radio host Jason Rantz. Welcome, Jason. Always great to have you on the show, of course. I have to say, it's got to be the most hostile work environment to be a conservative or just a free thinker professor on a college campus. I don't blame the guy for quitting. He's been attacked every which way.
Absolutely. And I don't think it's just for conservatives. I think the issue here is on college campuses. They become indoctrination camps.
Yeah.
And if you dare to question anything that you're not supposed to question, according to the left, you're going to get attacked. You're going to be either bullied into silence or you're going to get thrown off of campus. And the problem that this poses is that every single student is worse off because of it. We grow as people intellectually, emotionally, when we are challenged. And instead of allowing for that kind of challenge, instead of actually having open debate on issues that aren't even controversial, but also controversial issues, by not allowing kids to do that, what do we get? We have them coming into the real world where they crumble into the fetal position every single time that they hear something they disagree with and they say, "I'm offended. I can't handle it." That's not how the real world is supposed to be. We're supposed to get these folks into a mental state where they can actually handle disagreement, or we're supposed to push them aside and simply say, we're not going to allow crazy people to dictate how we live. And unfortunately, right now, we've given so much power to the lunatics.
Yeah. Many of those lunatics are the students themselves. I have to tell you, I've spoken to many college professors, and they are petrified of their own students. If they say anything that remotely ruffles a feather, that somebody feels sensitive about, they will be reported to the department, and the department always folds and ends up allowing that professor to be smeared. So most professors just stay in the closet until they get tenure, or frankly, I just think they're self-selecting out of the profession.
Oh, I agree with that. And I think that, at one point, teachers used to talk about academic freedom as if they actually cared about that.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, you don't get any of that anymore. Instead, you have professors and their students pushing for speech codes on college campuses, saying that if you dare to question the orthodoxy on campus, well, we should be excommunicating you. I'm sorry, but that's not the best way to train kids to be out in the real world. And here's the most scary part of this. They are graduating, and they are becoming bosses. They're becoming lawyers and doctors and CEOs and politicians, and they end up changing society for the worse. And I think that we're becoming more closed-minded in this country, and we see it in the debates happening every single day in this country.
Absolutely. I have to tell you, I've thought a lot about this. I've thought about it with my husband. I have college-age kids, and I've just decided I made the mistake with the first one. I sent her to, a really fancy, nice liberal school, and I'm not doing it again. I've decided I'm not going to fund the people that want to ruin my kids and ruin my country. And so if I'm going to foot the bill, I'm going to decide what college they go to, and it better be one that's not trying to tear down Western civilization.
Yeah, I went to Occidental College, so I kind of made the wrong choice. But here's the deal. As someone who's conservative and wasn't pushed around and bullied, I grew as a person. I'm a better person because I got challenged. I just wish liberals would understand that.
Yeah, there has to be open debate. Jason, it's always great debating with you.
Thanks, Rachel.
All right. Don't go in.